you look at it and say, the agents themselves, when it comes down to being capped, that should be the beginning of the conversation. It should then move into how their money is received. They should be audited every year so we can understand clear and absolute transparency, because some of the corruption and some of the illicit payments that go on inside the game come from agents, so we should be able to track every single aspect of it. They should be made to pay a levy. Like we have to pay as football club owners, we have to pay a levy on every single transfer. They should pay a levy. Gary Neville suggested it a couple of years ago. I was in the same camp. I think we both said it at the same time. And that would bring in hundreds of millions of pounds that can go back into grassroots football. They should be stopped at being able to deal with only one party. So this should be the beginning of the conversation, not the end of it.
But you can't lump all agents into the one group, Simon. Everybody's listening to you. They always do. A top agent's got in touch with me here. I'm not going to name him.
Is there such a thing?
He says, Simon's talking like a guy who said his fingers burn. Lots of players like their agents and speak really highly of them.
Pay them then.
He says, and they look after their players well. Clubs like working with good and fair agents.
And there are a few of them, and I can name them. And the fact that I can name them on single fingers tells you how few of them there are around the world. This is about recalibrating the finances in football. Good agents won't have any problem with being regulated. They won't have any problem with transparency. They won't have any problem with contributing back to the football pyramid. And ultimately, when they bring out this absolute balderdash crap about how they work in other industries and they go to the actors, and actors don't have a problem paying 15%, or theatre companies, but the theatre companies don't pay you. The actor and the stars pay you out of their contracts. You charge football clubs, you've leveraged a situation because the Bosman rule opened a door for you guys, but the bottom line is these guys need to be governed.
Yeah.
And it's been high time coming.
But Barnett's saying we'll come to the table.
Yes, I understand that, because ultimately they've got no position to go. This nonsense about legality, right? If FIFA are able to control the direction of various aspects of football, one of them will be the agents. It's not about legality. It's about being involved in the industry. If you don't like it, go and be an agent in another industry. See how you get on. It's been the Wild West. You've had it on your toes for a long, long time. And you're damn right I've had my fingers burnt by agents, because they're a scandalous, divisive disgrace. Their best interests are moving players because that's where they make their money. There are a few exceptions where they stand in there and they operate reasonably. But on the whole, Jim, I promise you, I'm a fair and equitable man, and I've given agents a fair opportunity to behave. In my experience, from top to bottom, from people like Paul Stratford to Jonathan Barnett, I've found them difficult and divisive and bring no value to the equation. And I'm sorry that they won't like that, but that's my legitimate and genuine experiences of them. Of course. And I believe that agents have a place in football, but they also have a responsibility to behave in a certain way. The game has a responsibility to govern itself. It is right what Jonathan says, that, hang on a second, FIFA, you are far from perfect. But the bottom line is this governance is good news. It must be the thin end of the wedge. 10% capping should then be followed by only allowed to represent one part of the transaction, then followed by a levy. So every fee you get gets a kickback into the industry that you come from. And also, we have to audit your accounts every single year so we can see every single transaction, so we can follow the money.
Okay.